mind. You wanna save me, you wanna drown me, you wanna hang me to dry. Good luck and good night. Good luck and good night. Tie a rope to my neck, call me yours, don't tell me you're mine. Don't try to call my name down at the riverside. No. You want a follower, you want a guide. Make up your mind, make up your mind. You wanna save me, you wanna drown me, you wanna hang me to dry. Good luck and good night. Oh. Good luck and good night.
You want a follower, you want a guide. Make up your mind, make up your mind. You want a follower, you want a guide. Make up your mind, make up your mind.
Welcome, everybody. This is My Night Out Radio on Rhode Island Free Radio right now. Indie Authority, I think, is taking a break. So we're I probably got fired. It would not be the first nor the last time I've been fired from a job. However, I was just going to bring that up. Tony just mentioned. By the way, Tony is without microphone because we also have George.
Good evening.
My partial sometimes seem to be kind of regular co-host.
I'm starting to.
You're co-hosting more than you're hosting, George. Put an extra zero at the end of that paycheck.
Hey, listen, I'm here for the intangibles.
We also have Drew and Joe from 30 Silver in here.
Hey, thanks for having us, Ed. What's up?
I don't know what happened. I'm probably don't even want to ask, but the first question is I got to ask you is, can you be fired from a volunteer job?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's happened to
You
all.
absolutely
answered that
can.
way too quickly.
I'm taking from
Not that we know about this, George.
personal experiences and violent outcomes or something. We won't touch upon those too much.
I swore I'd never talk about what happened to that clown, and I mean it.
You do know I'm a clown, right?
Why don't you and I see the back alley after the show, Eddie?
Okay, no problem.
Let me just run to the car first and get something.
As long as there's something to wipe up with when you're done.
Whoa.
That was a little too colorful. Sorry about that, children. We've been having a hell of a conversation off the air before we even got started. I can't even talk about it because.
Well, yes, we can.
Well, we can. We're going to take the high road, and we're going to opt not to talk about that. At least not just yet. I haven't had enough to loosen my fiber. We'll call it.
Okay, well, I promise you that when my Haunted Cabaret show comes on tomorrow evening, we are talking about it.
Okay. Would you like me to come down so we can specifically talk about
Oh,
that?
absolutely. Bring this. Well, wait, you don't want to talk about it now, but bring the people that we were referring to earlier with you.
If that can be done, I will be more than happy to do it. Well, let's get back on track because we can go off on a long tangent on this. First off, you guys are in a band.
Yep, 30 Silver.
Not to be confused with 30 Pieces of Silver out of Lincoln, Nebraska, which is a Christian rock group.
That I think hasn't been active for like at least a year and a half, 2 years.
They still have an active Facebook.
Well, because everybody still has an active Facebook.
The band that broke up like 10 years ago still has an active Facebook.
Well, I'm just saying
Jesus has an active Facebook, and that guy's been dead for years.
No, he came back after 3 days.
Yeah, you know what, though?
Supposedly.
Nobody's seen him since.
Actually, what you just said is probably enough to make 30 Pieces of Silver in Nebraska reunite vengefully.
That's it. They want the name back.
Yeah.
They can't have it.
Yeah, that message is going to come through in the next 10 seconds.
Well, I got to ask you, first off, as I was doing the research, the moniker that was put with you guys is heavy as a freight train and twice as loud.
Yep.
Do you care to elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, we are actually a really heavy band. I mean, especially not even judging on the subject of, well, there's two of you, but just in general, I mean, very sludgy, very heavy, rooted in rock and roll and strains of punk and metal. Twice as loud was, I was going to say that's not accurate, but it's still pretty damn accurate.
Well, it depends how far away you're standing from the freight train.
Yeah, I've watched people backpedal at our shows, like, oh, God.
There was that time we played outside in New Jersey.
Oh, my God, that was the best. So we ended up on an outside stage, and we had 30 minutes before the noise cut off, and I kept telling the promoter, I'm like, you don't want this to happen, man. And he just kept going, oh, but I do. Okay, well, I guess we're putting this amp at, 8. And so I just dimed it, basically, and we're facing all the hotels. And I'm watching people step out on their balconies going, hell is that noise? And friends of ours in another band had to run to their car to grab, I forget what they had forgotten. I think it was like a speaker cable, something really little. And their car was parked about 4 blocks away. And they're like, yeah, we can still hear you clear as a bell, man. Both of you, we could hear you just clear as day. The only thing that couldn't keep up was the poor PA. The PA couldn't keep up with your vocals over Joe's drums. But, yeah, we strive to be loud.
Well, you are also a touring band, number one. Number two, it's a two-piece band, which is rather unique. You're missing the bass player, which...
we don't miss him.
Well, you don't miss him. You just don't have one. It's kind of like one of your favorite bands, Crinkly Ass Crackers. They don't have a drummer.
They have a drummer. The drummer's just a mannequin's head, though.
I first saw them once.
Lazy-ass drummer.
Yeah, well, I saw them about a couple of years ago over at Blazes here in West Warwick, the now defunct Blazes. And when they set up and they put up a full drum kit with a mannequin head behind it.
Yep.
And I was just that was just so unique. You have to just sit and listen and pay attention, because if they're solid enough to pull it off without a drummer, or you guys are solid enough to pull it off without a bass player, you guys have to have a lot of talent, whether or not you want to admit it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit that Joe's talented.
I think we're good at kind of reading each other and moving with each other, and so wherever the song goes, wherever the music goes, we just kind of move with that together very well.
Yeah, the two-person band is getting more and more common, though, actually.
It
used to be very rare. Now, not so much.
I've seen a lot of examples of it. I've seen... Not often do I see it pulled off the way that I like it, but that's also why I'm in a two-piece band, because I have a specific way that I like this sort of thing done. And probably my two favorites for that are Local H, who have been going for... this is year 26 for them. They started in 90 and have just kept soldiering, and we actually went and saw them earlier this year. And there's a band out of Austin called One Eyed Doll that we really like. And it's that same thing of trying not trying to be what you're not trying to be like, here's a bunch of samples and things that I'm running to convince you that there's really 5 people in this band. There's 2 people in this band, and they both kick ass.
Well, the other part of that is what I was talking about is the touring. When you're touring, because of the direction my show usually takes, we like to revolve around food. I'm a fat guy. Fat guys like food. So
fat guy solidarity.
Yeah. So, and you were mentioning before that your wife is a pastry chef.
Yep.
So what
this
do you
is
guys...
why I'm fat.
Oh, I can lose you and still be healthy.
I was fat long before her, but she feeds me well.
So what do you guys do when you're on the road? You said Illinois or wherever. What do you do for food? Do you just do any greasy spoon, or do you go out of your way to try to find something that actually is really good?
It depends. I mean, I try to actually pack food with me when I can. Like I have subsisted before on a diet of peanut butter sandwiches, and by God, I can do it again for a couple weeks if it really comes to it. I can push myself. Thankfully, we'll end up crashing with friends, and we'll offer to cook, and sometimes they'll take us up on that, and sometimes they'll go, God, no. Which is kind of messed up, because, I mean, look at me. You assume, looking at a fat guy, that I know how to cook. But
that is a common misnomer, though, because if we look around the room, George, how are you at cooking?
I don't cook. Other people cook, which is, I
No.
think, the solution to most of our...
George is kind of on the low end of a fat guy, but he's still he's accepted.
we don't count George. You're not one of us.
We can accept George as a fat guy, but he's right on the cusp of not
Fringe.
being a fat guy.
Fringe.
Yeah, he's almost an
Zoftig.
outsider. Tony, I know for a fact, does not cook. Tony and I are in the same. Oh, he watched the hell out of the cooking channel, but Tony does not cook, and so that's a 50-50. The fat guy may or may not be able to cook, and if he's volunteering, that just means he's hungry and wants to hurry it up.
That's a fair point.
But if you have, if you've proven your cooking chops and they still don't want you to cook, then I would call that suspect.
Well, to be fair, I have never had a chance to prove my cooking chops on some of these people. But no, we'll stop into places. I mean, we'll stop into. It depends
We
how
try to
long the
balance
trip
between
is.
like cost and not eating terribly.
Yeah, I try not to eat things that actually make me want to die at this point in my life.
Well, I did do a little bit of time on the road as traveling sales, and there was a week or two where I was eating ramen, but I was mixing it with a can of string beans just so I can get some type of health into it.
Yeah, you know the struggles of, well, I got this can opener and I got this can of tuna.
Yeah, it's true. It is.
Yeah,
a struggle.
it's.
And if you put the can opener in your pocket, it looks like a gun. You can hold up some type of a gas station to get the money to go eat at McDonald's too.
But then I'd have to eat at McDonald's.
What's that?
But then I'd have to eat at McDonald's.
Well, it depends.
And with my luck, it'd be a stab and grab.
This is going down a horrible path. And first off, I do not
You've
recommend.
you've been in a stab and grab, right? You know that I'm not talking about like shanking a dude and taking his money. You've been in a stab and grab.
No.
Okay, a stab and grab is when you walk into a convenience store or gas station and it's just like, all right, so for the people that are listening, you don't have the physical dimension of this room, but basically you walk into the store and it's approximately the size of where George is sitting, which George has about 2 feet between him, the table, and the wall. And you walk in and you tell the guy behind the bulletproof glass, hey, I'd like, cigarettes or chips or a Black and Mild or a soda. And he goes, okay, cool. And he grabs it off the shelf behind him and he slides the tray out like you're Hannibal Lecter, and you deposit your money or your credit card, most often your money in, and you slide it back, and he takes it, puts the soda or the chips or the cigarettes back in and slides it back out to you with your change. It is physically impossible to rob those places, although I'm sure people have tried.
However, if there's anything outside of that glass, it's fair game because it's going to take them an hour and a half to get out of that glass.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. No, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing outside of the glass in these places. You find them in spots like Philly and Camden, New Jersey. You walk in and it's just like, wow. Everyone who walks in here is expected to be a murderous, drug-addicted psychopath.
Well,
and to be fair, it's Camden, New Jersey, so it's a pretty fair bet.
Fortunately for us, I don't think we have one of those in Rhode Island.
We have it at
You peaceful people.
Well, no, we have it at service stations and things like that. And I know down in Oneyville, we have a semblance of it, but I don't think we have.
If I'm going to Oneyville late at night, it's going to be for hot wieners. It is not going to be to go try to wrestle a
You know what, man? Whatever you do with your life is your business, Eddie.
Well, no, but the
in
service
Oneyville.
station, but there is a service station for gas across from the hot wiener joint.
Oh, I'm quite familiar with that. I try not to stop anyway because.
Oh, we're talking about hot dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind.
No. You know how I normally go out with the clown paint. So I try. I try.
Yeah,